What a great story. Gosh, that James Herriot, the English vet, and his great stories about animals. This one was about a horse, and it sure ties in with what I want to do today. I want to do a painting about a horse that I used to have named Chico. And the thing that I'm going to show you, it's a much easier to paint Chico than it was to ride Chico. Let me show you the canvas. This has been primed with burnt sienna and white in acrylic. And that's all dry. Put the drawing on and you'll have a drawing in the book. Don't you worry about having to draw that horse. The drawing will be there for you. I have taken and put magic clear over the whole canvas, and then I did put a little paint next to the horse, so just for the sake of saving time. And I'll tell you about those colors as we get to them. We're going to do this in a very simple manner, and you will see that as we go ahead and start putting some of the paint on the horse. In fact, we'll start with the darks on the horse, and this will almost give us a horse right there. I have used 3 burnt umber and 1 violet, 1 permanent violet, and we'll use this to put on the dark area. I have a flat brush here, and we'll come up and we'll start putting this on. Where should we start? Let's start on the head. I asked a good friend of mine about horses, inasmuch, how do you judge beauty in a horse? Of course, I come up to Chico, and it's not a question, do you look good? His nature is also the thing where I would judge beauty. But I asked, if you went to a judging contest and you had horses there, what would the judges be looking for? And he says, well, one thing, on the ears, you want to have them so they're not too long and they're not too short. That's a way of saying just right, isn't it? So ears is one thing they gauge. And then also the forehead. A large forehead, but yet it doesn't protrude out. I feel like I'm describing myself. My ears are big, my forehead protrudes out. We'll still talk about this, but you know, the real beauty, the thing about beauty in a person, and a lot within an animal, is what's inside, the nature and the characteristics of the animal. That's what comes forth, and that's how we should judge each other. But in the horse shows, they do judge the other things. And then let's see, on the eye of the horse, he says, a good sized eye, and that's nice too. So those are 3 things that I know, and I'm sure some of you horse lovers out there that maybe you don't paint, but you know horses, and you say, Buck, I hope you know how to paint, because you don't know horses. Well, we'll have a lot of fun, won't we? And you don't have to really know a subject to love it and to do it, and I think that's one thing when you start painting. Don't be afraid of trying any subject that you want, because you just do it because you want to do it. You do it because you think, I wonder how it would look. That's a reason enough. Okay, I'm coming over on this side just a little bit. You can see that as I go over towards the lighter area, and the light will be coming from the right, that I'll use a little bit less paint. However, we do have some paint for that area too. Now we'll come under here. We can use a lot of paint. I'll use just a little bit of medium because the paint is just a little stiffer, which is an advantage when you want it stiffer. Ooh, is this pretty? I'm going to put this on. And then you see on the back, there'll be 2 areas that will be light, but we'll wipe the lights, so therefore you get a little bit of paint in them, just a little bit of a stain. Chico was such a horse. This was a horse that my father and I shared. My brothers each had a horse, but my father thought, well, Buck and I can share a horse because I spent a lot of time playing sports, and he would ride when I was playing sports. Okay, I want to put this down under there, and we'll come down the legs a little bit. I think what I'll do is kind of wait on the legs because they're just going to be put in very flat-like. So we'll come up above and then just see how we do on time. Come over in here. I want to tell you a horse story, and it kind of goes a little bit with attitude as well. I had a opportunity one day with my brother. We were out helping a neighbor, and we were raking hay. The hay had been cut, and then we each had what they called a rake. It would come along pulled by 2 horses. And every once in a while you would step on the old thing and that raise up so you've gathered the hay together, and then it was easier to pick up. Well, gosh, it was dangerous riding on that old thing because you'd bounce around and there was no seat belts handy, and we were a little younger, so you thought, gee, I can hardly reach. Will I be able to stay on? And we were going up some great steep hills. But you know, the sad thing was, my brother had horses that were blind, and I felt so sorry for him. They were going up and down and over these rough places, and I thought, poor Lauren, I'm so pleased that I don't have the blind horses. The end of the day comes, and we start going towards home, or the farm, which was the man's home, and all of a sudden, near a little stream, my horses slipped in. One horse did, and we had to come and be rescued. And I come to find out, I had the blind horses. All the time I had the blind horses. Just goes to show you, if somebody tells you something and says, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, and then you my goodness, you're afraid to try because somebody else says something. I was okay. I had no problem until I had a problem. So if somebody says you can't paint, you go ahead and do it anyway. Let somebody else be the one who can't see in themselves that they can. Let's put a little bit in here. Okay, now what I will do, just a little bit, blend slightly with a bunny brush, and this just softens what's there. It looks kind of funny with his legs not done, but we'll just leave those for the moment. When you do your own horse, you can paint the legs too. Chico, you love me, don't you? Oh my goodness, I know he does, but he's sure a wild, independent spirit. I had a neighbor that we used to race against, Gilbertson. Oh my goodness, and my Chico could beat him most of the time. Okay, on the area where I said we had a little light back here, let's go ahead and wipe. So we'll start getting our lights back here by wiping. We're going to eventually have a very strong light right there because that will balance against the dark of the head, and that'll be a very attractive spot. I think what I'll do, I'll wipe, and then I'm going to go ahead and put that in so you can see it right early rather than jumping around. Okay, I have one other color that we'll put on, but I'll use it right now for that light area. And this is, what do we have? Oh, we have to mix it. Well, that's nice. Okay, 2 red and 1 yellow ochre. And we'll mix that together, and I also have just a little bit of the very dark color that we used on the horse. So we have about 2 ochre, 1 red, and 1 dark horse color. This will work. Push this up. This will be kind of the first light that goes on, and then we have a stronger one. Now, I already told you about the priming the canvas, didn't I? Burnt sienna and white. How helpful that is towards being the color that is in the horse right now. See, when we go to the light side, we'll be pushing this all over as the first color on that area. But let's stay in this area. Next color, I want to have, let's see, equal yellow, ochre, and orange. That's yellow ochre. Here's the orange. And then we want white. Let's have the equal white too. See, that'll give me a nice highlight. And what's fun to show, when you work on a dark canvas, each thing you put on looks quite light. Now this is quite light, but look how it is darker than white. So you always save the opportunity to go even a little lighter. This is going to go right next to here, as we suggested earlier. Oh, I did want to tell you one other thing. When I put on the acrylic, I took and put the eye, and you don't say nose, do you say nuzzle? Those two are both put on with acrylic, permanent violet, so that when we push around, we will still see where they are, and that'll be very helpful. Okay, let's go over on the right side, and this is with the lights. Now, when we go with the lights, we're going with the one that is 2 red, 1 ochre, 1 dark color, and this will push on like this, kind of thin-like, but you are going to wipe, and you're going to make use of the priming of the canvas. That's what's so helpful about priming a canvas with a color that will be, practically used as part of your scheme. As it mixes near, or as it touches the dark color, we'll see then you're pushing and blending just a little bit with that. And then further on May I say face? See that somebody say, well, you know, all these things, years judging and so on, how come you called it face? It probably has another name. Okay, same way here, we'll soften a little bit where they come together. I do need to have that dark come down just a little lower. I'm picking up a quick little dark right in front of the eye there. And then we have what's almost like a J coming down. You'll see this as I start putting the light in, but this is the inside, and then you have a little J right here. And just a slight little dark there. Okay, we'll blend this with the bunny. And like we did on the other side, we'll go ahead and do some wiping. See how quickly that works up? When you have the drawing of the horse there, then it's merely working with patterns. And you'll see these are quite simple patterns, aren't they? You can do it out there. Please try it. Okay, wiping on the right side. We'll wipe first near the eye. And there's always the question of, should you do the eye first? Should you do the eye second? And in many art classes, I'll ask that when we're doing a portrait or even a horse. And somebody will say, oh, you should always do the eye first. Someone says, oh, you should always do the eye last. You can do it either way. If you do it first, then you have that great spark and everything builds up to that. You keep watching that while you do everything else, which is good. That's one reason to do it. And the other reason is to do it last is you do everything up nice, and then when you get to the eye, that final spark. So both ways work. Okay, we've wiped out on the light side. Now we'll come with this real light, the orange and ochre and white, and we'll add this onto the wiped out area, or into the wiped out area. There and here, and then we'll change brushes and go just a little bit on the right above the eye. I'm so pleased you came today to go on this ride with me. And you know, animals are such a great thing to study. You know how faithful dogs are, and oh gosh, I love to see people care for animals. You know, they say, well, they lost a member of the family when they lose one. Well, that's the way it should be. They are a member of the family. Oh, they were put on this earth for us to enjoy and to love and protect. Okay, still blending near the eye. And we'll come down a little bit this way, and that's just, I feel there's a little too much light there, so I'll just pick up a little bit of the dark. This isn't the dark, this is the light side, but it's a little darker than what's there, just to soften slightly. Now let's come with the light that I suggested with a, here I have a round brush, round sable. It's called a combo because you can get a lot of use out of it, and I use it for acrylics and oil. It's great. Now here's the J. Here's the J right in there. Can you see that? I think my hand's out of the way, or at least it'll be out of the way in a minute. There it is. Little J, and then a little light here. And I need even a smaller brush. Here's a liner brush, and I'm going to use a little bit of this just to put on the lid. Notice what I did down here. I put a little bit of the light, the two lights together. So it's a kind of in-between light. And we'll use this right on the lid here. Right there, and then just a little bit above it. I'll stay on the eye since we're working around there and it'd be fun to see it. Let's put a little of this lighter color right here. On the eye itself, I'm going to pick up some violet and white. Change my mind, picks up some phthalo blue and white. Oh, it's fun to change your mind. Okay, here's blue and white. Just a little touch there. You find the personality coming alive when you start doing that. Just a little reflected light down here. And then we'll come with pure white. Watch the way I fill this brush up. I lean the little finger against the palette, but I just kind of dig in, pull out, and I have a small thread for a little touch right there. Hardly touch, but see, there's Chico. On the other side, let's take some dark with the liner brush. And because I did fill in a little bit of the background against the horse, I can do this now. And this is coming with just a little extension of dark. The little eyelid there, isn't that nice? Or the eyelash. Okay, let's stay around on the head. I'm going to pick up a little bit of my violet color, and this is what I have. Let's see, I have the violet, this is the background color. I have equal white and the dark of the horse, equal white and dark of the horse. I think I'll go just a little darker with that. That's in the same family. And we'll put this around the nostril there. You don't see a lot of change on that, but you see something happening. And then a little bit down here, lower lip. We'll go a little darker so you separate or feel like there's a little opening in the mouth. So you'd be able to tell the age. Look at the teeth. Chico, I guess, was about 9 when we got him. That's a good age, 9. Okay, here's phthalo blue and white. The same thing we put in the eye, and I'm going to come over just a little touch here. Just a little accent, a little bit down below. Scratch it so it's less. And then a little touch right there. Okay, now we have to put on, I don't know, I used to remember what it was called. There's a name for it, but I forgot what it is, that little curlicue in the middle of the head here. Oh, where's the prompter? Let's put a little bit of this right there. Oh, I know what it is. The blaze. Isn't that what it is? I sure hope it is. Blazing along. Okay, then we're going to come with a little phthalo blue and white there too. Sometimes you have a star there, sometimes just a little twisted color. That's what Chico had, a little twisted color. I need to have one little band that comes down on the head here. This is the light color, and we'll put it right in here. That's good. That you feel that bone, that marrow. That's strong. Let's go up on the ears. Same color. We have the darker color on the light side. Okay, you know what I mean. It's the red and ochre, and a touch of the dark color in it. That's good. What about reflected light any place? Yes, right above that eye on the dark side. And then as we come down, we can put a little bit over here. We better put a little light there so it shows out, sort of reflected light. I'm going to use just this little mixture that we put on the eyelid between the two lights. We'll come right down and trace that edge so that it shows out just slightly against the background. If it doesn't, which it doesn't as much as I'd like it to, I'll take some more of the dark and come on the dark side, and then you get the contrast. Okay, I think that'll work. We'll go ahead and do a little bit on the tail. I have the same dark color, but I have a fan brush. Let's put just a little bit of magic clear with that, and we'll come down. Ooh, that's fun to do because you feel like you're doing hair right now. It has that looseness by this. Now, I have paint already against there. This is yellow ochre and white with a little bit of violet in it. Yellow ochre and white with a little violet. And it's wet, so I can blend out and soften. See how we soften against that? Now, I want to come down this with just a little bit of the reddish color too, because Chico had some of that color in him. Here comes the light color, the first light color on this side. Put just a little bit on there. Not a lot, just enough to give a little vitality. We'll use a little bit of this light color that I just put on there. Let's use some on the back, just sort of as a reflected light on this leg, on this stomach, on this leg. Let me show you one thing that we need to do on the back leg, and the far left back leg, the one that's kind of cocked. We'll put the dark color on first, because the other legs are just going to be coming straight down and straight dark, but this one you need to see, and if we don't get time to do the rest, you'll see it in the final picture. Okay, we'll come down with this, because we don't have a lot of background to put in, but I do want to show you a little bit on that too. Okay, let's put this down right onto the hoof. Okay, now that's raised up in the air slightly. So let's take a little bit of this color that I described that we're using on the sand. This is yellow ochre and white, equal parts, and then we have a little bit of the your dark horse color into it. Okay, we have just a little kind of a stocking right there, and just a little bit here, just rounds slightly. And on the hoof itself, with just a slight little feeling of form, not much is needed, but just enough so you feel like it's lifted up in the air and ready to, well, it expresses Chico's personality, I'll tell you that. He was a character. Okay, I want to go to the sky, and I've mixed up, this is the dark of the horse with white. Isn't that simple? Dark of the horse plus white, and I have a little magic clear with it, and this will go over the whole sky. Now I did want to leave some of the underneath showing through, and when you do that, and then you kind of warm up the sky, and it shows a particularly nice day. So this is put on very thin-like, thin meaning quantity of paint and thinned out a little bit with the magic clear. Now the light that I put in earlier, before you even came to the stable, was a little bit of yellow ochre, orange, and white. I'll put more of that on so you see how we continue with that. But the position where we have it is so helpful. See, right against that eye. You do not see that eye at all, but you sure have the impression of the personality just like that, see? Just seeing it without seeing it. Okay, these are like a letter M. See how that's like a letter M? And then we'll come down and join a little bit, and then you soften. So the top of the M is where you have the most paint. You flick it up just a little bit so it has some variety in it, but that's a neat way of doing it. Another way of saying, oh, it's like an ice cream stack in a banana split. You know how the double cones? Oh, didn't you remember buying double cones? And they'd have two, one next to each other, and you could get triple on top. Ooh, that was great. Okay, now we'll have a little bit of that on. Let's go with the mountain or the distant hills. Same thing that we had in the sky, only it has less white. Less white. Okay, I'm going to put in a little tree, and I want to continue telling that story about this Gilbertsons that was just such a great thing that happened. There was one day this Gilbertson, well, let me tell you what the color is first. This is sap green and burnt umber. Let's try equal parts. Yeah, I think I'll go the other way. I'll go two sap green and one burnt umber. There was one day this Gilbertson was out mowing hay, and you know, this was again with a couple horses, and he was mowing. It was hot, and he was sweaty, and there was mosquitoes, bugs all around flying when you cut the hay. And he came to a certain spot, and those horses stopped. His favorite horse was one of them, and stopped. Oh, he was mad. He said bad words, and he strapped the horse, but it wouldn't go. And finally got off. He went up front. He was going to really let him have it. You know what he discovered? His little boy was laying in the hay. Those horses had stopped just in time. It would have cut right through that little boy. Oh, I love those horses. And he learned to love those horses a lot after that, too. I'll tell you, those animals are so special. They're very smart. Give them a chance to be a friend of yours, and they will be. But that was one story I will always remember. Now, I'm coming along on the base of the mountains, and I'll come and push up just a little bit. And at the same time, you're going to push down a little bit so that it comes down in the sand. I think what I'll do is push just a little more sand on so that you see this happen too. This is the one that we talked about. This is yellow ochre and white equal parts with a little bit of the violet in it. I put it already on the area near the horse. I'm going to change mine just a little bit. I'll put this on, but on the side, just to keep your interest more at the horse, let's take some of the mountain color. I keep calling it mountain. It's cliffs out there. Those are just hills, Minnesota hills. So we're putting some of this darker color on, and then we pull down some of the green color so it acts like a lawn, grass that needs to be mowed. You know, I think the next time I race Chico against the Gilbertson's horse, I just let Chico go a little bit slower so I could stand behind and watch that beautiful horse that had saved a life. Oh, they're great animals. Ooh, I see another thing that's going to help. See, once we have the trees on, which we do, is an accent will be helpful. I'm going to put an accent up here. So we just touch some of this cloud color against the dark that's up there. So you touched into it a little bit. That's the way it'd be. Some of that color would show over into the sky. Ooh, I love it. Accident, but it's a good accident. Let's take and blend that with a bunny brush. I can hardly wait to get back and read another story about some of those great farmers and their love for their animals, and then having a vet come and help them and put them back on their feet. Well, I have time to do just a little bit more on the horse's legs, and that'll be about where we'll be riding off into the sunset, but we gotta have something to be able to ride on. This, as you do this, you'll find that it will be very helpful just to relax and enjoy it. Wipe for some of your lights. And it's also nice, if you ever make a mistake, you can wipe a little bit, but as you wipe, there's the color of the horse. Please enjoy doing Chico. You can put a different little blaze up there and call it a different horse. It could be Buckshot. That was the name of my brother's horse. I wonder if it was named after me, Buckshot. Okay, we're going to make this all right, aren't we? I do think that one thing would help the legs as you do this is if you come with a little bit of the light color and just put a little bit of a reflected light here and there along the edge. It'll give just a little form, yet while they're in silhouette. Thank you for watching today. Gosh, it's been great going trotting with you, and I hope we have another roundup. Happy trails.